The Santa Catalina Mountains rise abruptly from out of the Sonoran Desert, climbing from arid valley floor to pine forests in just a few miles. Peaks stretch above 9,000 feet, catching snow in the winter and monsoon storms in the summer, shaping the climate, hydrology, and landscape below. At the base of this range sits Oro Valley, Arizona, a town that has learned something the hard way, that engineering in the desert is never as simple as it seems. At first glance, Oro Valley looks exactly like what you'd expect from a high-end desert community. Master-planned neighborhoods, golf courses, resort hotels, and uninterrupted scenic views in nearly every direction. It's consistently ranked as one of the safest towns in Arizona and boasts median household incomes well above the state average. More than half of its residents hold a bachelor's degree or higher, and for many people, Oro Valley represents something close to an ideal version of desert living. But there's something unusual about Oro Valley. Drive through neighboring communities and you'll see roads riddled with cracks, potholes, and that telltale gray oxidation of aging asphalt. Cross into Oro Valley and most of the roads are almost pristine. This stark contrast isn't an accident, and it surprisingly has nothing to do with Oro Valley's household income. It's the result of a deliberate engineering strategy. While their neighbors are locked into an expensive cycle of letting roads fail and then reconstructing them, Oro Valley has adopted a fundamentally different approach based on one simple concept: prevention is cheaper than replacement. To understand why this matters, we need to understand something most people never think about. In the Sonoran Desert, the biggest threat to residential roads isn't traffic. It isn't even violent monsoon storms that dump inches of rain in minutes. The real enemy is sunlight. Before we get into the engineering, be sure you like and subscribe to our channel. Now, let's talk a little bit more about Oro Valley. This community has always been about independence and high standards. For centuries, survival here meant solving water problems. The Hohokam built check dams as early as 450 AD, and by the 1870s, settlers used steam-powered pumps, a rare technology for the Arizona territory, to pull water from deep underground. Fast forward to 1974. When Tucson tried to annex the area, residents fought back and incorporated it as their own town. At the time, Oro Valley had just 1,200 people spread across 2.4 miles. Today, it's grown to nearly 48,000 residents, covering 36 square miles. But that founding spirit, local control and high standards, still drives how Oro Valley approaches infrastructure. Consequently, their engineering standards prioritize quality and longevity over cutting costs. Which brings us to the central engineering challenge. How do you maintain infrastructure, chiefly roads, in one of the harshest climates for asphalt in North America? To state the obvious, deserts are hot, and that's a problem. The Sonoran Desert receives over 300 days of sunshine annually, with some of the most intense ultraviolet radiation in the continental US. And UV radiation is asphalt's worst enemy. Asphalt is basically made of two parts: the aggregate or rock and the binder that holds everything together. When UV radiation hits pavement, it triggers a chemical process called photooxidation. At a molecular level, UV strips away the maltines, the oily, flexible component of the binder, and increases the ratio of asphaltenes, which are hard and brittle. As this happens, the binder loses its ability to flex, becomes rigid, which makes it more susceptible to cracking. Once cracks form, the pavement becomes brittle, which leads to more oxidation and more cracking, exacerbating the deterioration of the pavement. If water infiltrates down to the base layer, it compromises the road's structural support, and before long you've got alligator cracking, potholes, and structural failure. That's where things get really expensive. When a road is in that bad a shape, the only real fix is a reconstruction. Completely reconstructing a failed road costs between $25 and $30 a square yard. Multiply that across the city's entire network, and you're talking about astronomical sums that no municipality can afford. Now here's what makes this interesting. The UV-driven oxidation process happens whether you have heavy traffic or not. A quiet residential street in Oro Valley faces the same ultraviolet bombardment as a major arterial. The deterioration is environmental, not mechanical. So the engineering challenge becomes, how do you stop oxidation before it starts? Many cities in the region operate on what engineers call a worst first or run to failure maintenance model. They wait until a road shows visible distress, then they patch or overlay them. When patches fail, they do another patch. Eventually, when the road is completely shot, they reconstruct it. This approach seems logical at first. You're only spending money on roads where damage is visible, but it's actually the most expensive approach possible. By the time the road looks bad enough to justify repair and a reactive system, the interventions are already expensive. You're no longer doing proactive maintenance. You're forced to use reactive treatments, which cost drastically more than preventative maintenance. Oro Valley takes a different path. The engineering philosophy is built on one core principle: treat roads while they're still in good condition to prevent deterioration. The Public Works Department operates on a data-driven pavement management system that ranks every segment of their 440 lane-mile network using something called the Pavement Condition Index, or PCI. Roads are rated on a scale from 0 to 100. When a road drops below a PCI of around 75, treatments begin to get more expensive, which is why Oro Valley applies treatments before the road falls below that threshold. By acting early, they're able to extend the life of the road while it's still in good condition, keeping the good road good for longer than they would have otherwise been able to. The strategy is simple. Keep good roads good because good roads cost less. Spend a little bit of money early on in a road's life, and you can drastically reduce the annual ownership cost of the road. Oro Valley has successfully made the shift from a worst first to a best first strategy, largely by utilizing HA5 high-density mineral bond. To understand what makes HA5 special, you need to understand the alternatives. For decades, cities have relied on treatments like chip seals and slurry seals, and these are perfectly good tools when they're used in the right setting. But they weren't designed for early stage preservation in an intense UV environment, and they both lose aggregate, which can be very annoying for residents. HA5 is different. It uses a specialized emulsion that carries an extremely high density of fine aggregates. When applied, these particles pack together tightly, creating what's essentially a mineral armor that blocks UV radiation from reaching the asphalt below. The result? A 4-year field study showed that HA5 treated roads had 9 times less cracking than roads treated with seal coat. And cracking is the precursor to everything expensive in pavement management. By preventing cracks from forming in the first place, HA5 eliminates the entire cascade of failures. There's another critical advantage: resident acceptance. HA5 cures into a smooth jet black finish that looks like brand new asphalt. Unlike chip seal or slurry, there's zero loose aggregate, no rocks pinging off windshields. For a community like Oro Valley, where aesthetics are important, this matters enormously. Let's look at how this works in practice. This subdivision has just over 69,000 square yards of residential streets. Under the traditional approach, the city would pave these roads, wait 15 to 20 years for them to fail, then spend weeks and $500,000 or more tearing everything up and starting over. Instead, while these roads were still in good condition, Oro Valley applied HA5. The city spent a fraction of the reconstruction cost and extended the life of these roads, and the disruption to the community was minimal. And here's the thing, when you scale this approach across 440 lane miles citywide, you're not just maintaining roads, you're changing how the entire city allocates money. Dollars that would have been consumed by an ever-growing paving backlog can be used to keep all the roads in better condition, drastically reducing the number of streets that need mill and overlays or full reconstructions. The benefits of this approach extend far beyond just smooth roads. Let's talk about what this means for the town and its residents. First, there's the obvious cost savings. As we mentioned, Oro Valley maintains 440 lane miles of roadway with an annual pavement preservation budget of around $3 million. Reconstructing even 10% of the network in a single year would consume the entire budget multiple times over. By keeping roads in good condition, Oro Valley avoids these catastrophic budget hits. Second are the tax implications. With limited sales revenue tax, Oro Valley relies on property taxes. By spending efficiently on preservation rather than wastefully on roads that could have lasted longer, they deliver high-quality infrastructure without constant tax increases. That builds trust between the community and the government. Third, there's property value protection. Oro Valley is a high-value residential market. The median home sells for over $550,000. Roads are a visible indicator of neighborhood quality. Cracked, gray, deteriorating pavement signals neglect. Smooth, black, well-maintained roads signal that the town is well managed. For homeowners, this aesthetic quality matters. And this brings us back to the question we started with. Why is there such a stark visual difference between Oro Valley's roads and those of its neighbors? The answer isn't just money. Oro Valley borders much larger cities with bigger absolute budgets and communities with a lot of resources. The difference is philosophy and priority. Oro Valley's neighbors often face a backlog of roads in poor or failed condition with PCI scores below 50. Once a road network reaches this state, you're trapped. The cost to fix failed roads is so high that you can never catch up. You're constantly doing triage, fixing the absolute worst roads, while the bad roads continue to deteriorate and join the worst category. The backlog grows, the budget doesn't, and more roads deteriorate. It's a vicious cycle. Oro Valley avoided this trap by preventing roads from getting that bad in the first place. To be clear, you will always need to repave some roads, but it comes down to a simple choice. You can pay a little now or you can pay a fortune later. While its neighbors are stuck constantly paying a fortune to chase their worst roads, Oro Valley is paying pennies to extend the useful life of their pavement. This is a great example of strategic asset management. So what's the lesson here? Oro Valley's story is about refusing to accept the status quo. By treating roads as capital assets requiring active protection, they've built infrastructure that most cities can only aspire to. For other communities looking at Oro Valley's example, the takeaway is clear. You can't afford to wait until roads fail. You can't afford to defer maintenance and hope the future budget will cover the reconstruction. The compound interest of deterioration works against you every single year. Oro Valley made its choice. And on a sunny Arizona morning, as you drive down streets that look like they were paved yesterday, the wisdom of that choice is impossible to miss. If you like this story, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more.